Matter, the world, and nature. 99. The matrix containing all things. T. 100. Wholly divisible, and yet indivisible. Page 4101. Thence abundantly springeth forth the generations of multifarious matter. Proc. Intim. 118. T. 102. These frame atoms, sensible forms, corporeal bodies, and things destined to matter. Dam. Deprin. T. 103. The nymphs of the fountains, and all the water spirits, and terrestrial, aerial and astral forms, are the lunar riders and rulers of all matter, the celestial, the starry, and that which lieth in the abysses. Leidus. Page 32. 104. According to the oracles, evil is more feeble than non-entity. Proc. De Prov. Z. Orti. 105. We learn that matter pervadeth the whole world, as the gods also assert. Proc. Tim. 142. Z. Orti. 106. All divine natures are incorporeal, but bodies are bound to them for your sakes. Bodies not being able to contain incorporeals, by reason of the corporeal nature, in which ye are concentrated. Proc. In place. Polit. 359. Z. Orti. 107. For the paternal self-begotten mind, understanding his work sewed in all the fiery bonds of love, that all things might continue loving for an infinite time, that the connected series of things might intellectually remain in the light of the Father, that the elements of the world might continue their course in mutual attraction. Proc. Intim. 155. T. Page 41 108. The Maker of all things, self-operating, framed the world. And there was a certain mass of fire, all these things self-operating he produced, that the body of the universe might be conformed, that the world might be manifest, and not appear membranous. Proc. Intim. 154. Z. Orti. 109. For he assimilateth the images to himself, casting them around his own form. 110. For they are an imitation of his mind, but that which is fabricated hath something of body. Proc. Intim. 87. Z. O. T. 111. There is a venerable name, with a sleepless revolution, leaping forth into the worlds, through the rapid tones of the Father. Proc. In Crat. Z. Orti. 112. The ethers of the elements therefore are there. Olympi, Odrus and Fard. Z. Orti. 113. The oracles assert that the types of characters and of other divine visions appear in the ether or astral light. Simp. In Phys. 144. Z. Orti. 114. In this the things without figure are figured. Simp. In Phys. 143. Z. Orti. 115. The ineffable and effable impressions of the world. 116. The light-hating world, and the winding currents by which many are drawn down. Proc. Intim. 339. Z. Orti. Page 42 117. He maketh the whole world of fire, air, water, and earth, and of the all-nourishing ether. Z. Orti. 118. Placing earth in the middle, but water below the earth, and air above both these. Z. Orti. 119. He fixed a vast multitude of unwandering stars, not by a strain laborious and hurtful, but with stability void of movement, forcing fire forward into fire. Proc. Intim. 280. Z-orti. 120. The Father congregated the seven firmaments of the cosmos, circumscribing the heavens with convex form. Dam. In balm. Z-orti. 121. He constituted a septenary of wandering existences, the planetary globes. Z-orti. 122. Suspending their disorder in well-disposed zones. Z-orti. 123. He made them 6 in number, and for the 7th he cast into the midst thereof the fiery sun. Proc. Intim. 280. Z-orti. 124. The centre from which all lines which way soever are equal. Proc. In Euclidum. 125. And that the swift sun doth pass as ever around a centre. Proc. In Plat. Th. 317. Z-orti, page 43, 126. Eagerly urging itself towards that centre of resounding light. Proc. Intim. 236. T. 127. The vast sun and the brilliant moon. 128. As rays of light his locks flow forth, ending in acute points. Proc. In place. Pole. 387. T. 129. And of the solar circles, and of the lunar clashings, and of the aerial recesses, the melody of ether, and of the sun, and of the phases of the moon, and of the air. Proc. Intim. 257. Z-orti. 130. The most mystic of discourses informs us that his wholeness is in the supramundane orders, for there a solar world and boundless light subsist, as the oracles of the Chaldeans affirm. Proc. Intim. 264. Z-orti. 131. The sun more true measureth all things by time, being itself the time of time, according to the oracle of the gods concerning it. Proc. Intim. 249. Z-orti. 132. The disk of the sun is born in the starless realm above the ineratic sphere, and hence he is not in the midst of the planets, but of the 3 worlds, according to the telistic hypothesis. July, Crat. 5. 334. Z-orti. 133. The sun is a fire, the channel of fire, and the dispenser of fire. Proc. Intim. 141. Z-orti, page 44, 134. Hence Chronos, the sun as assessor beholds the true pole. 135. The ethereal course, and the vast motion of the moon, and the aerial fluxes. Proclus Intim. 257. Z-orti. 136. O ether, sun, and spirit of the moon, ye are the chiefs of the air. Proc. Intim. 257. Z-orti. 137. And the wide air, and the lunar course, and the pole of the sun. Proc. Intim. 257. Z-orti. 138. For the goddess bringeth forth the vast sun, and the lucent moon. 139. She collecteth it, receiving the melody of ether, and of the sun, and of the moon, and of whatsoever things are contained in the air. 140. Unwearied nature ruleth over the worlds and works, that the heavens drawing downward might run an eternal course, and that the other periods of the sun, moon, seasons, night, and day might be accomplished. Proc. Intim. 4. 323. Z Orti. 141. And above the shoulders of that great goddess is nature in her vastness exalted. Proc. Intim. 4. T. 142. The most celebrated of the Babylonians, together with Ostens and Zoroaster, very properly call the starry spheres herds, whether because these alone among corporeal magnitudes are perfectly carried about around a center, or in conformity to the oracles, because they are considered by them, page 45, as in a certain respect the bands and collectors of physical reasons, which they likewise call in their sacred discourse herds Agilus, and by the insertion of Agameragulus angels. Wherefore the stars which preside over each of these herds are considered to be deities or demons, similar to the angels, and are called archangels, and they are 7 in number. Anon. In Theologumenis Arithmeticis. Z. Daemon in Greek mentor spirit, not bad spirit. 143. Zoroaster calls the congruities of material forms to the ideals of the soul of the world divine allurements. Ficinus. David. Kale. Comp. Z.